You've downloaded the program, you followed the plan, you showed up, and yet everything still hurts. Your back hurts, your knees hurt, your joints hurt, and you're not seeing any results. Sound familiar? Well, today I'm going to tell you why most workout programs fail after 40. Today, I'm breaking down the 5 biggest reasons why most workout programs fail for people over the age of 40. I'm going to give you 5 reasons and then 5 exercises that I'll have to do with my clients who are over 40. Okay, reason number 1 why most workout programs fail after 40, they ignore recovery time. Now, most workout programs are written for 25-year-olds. So if you're over 40 and if you're following a program that's written for a 25-year-old, chances are it's not going to be good for your body. And what I mean by recovery is when you're 20, you can work out on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, bounce back again on Thursday. But when you're over 40, 50, and 60, you really can't do that. You can't bounce back as quick as you used to be when you were 20. And this is where most workouts sort of fail at that time. So how to fix that for me is I just work around a 3 full body split programs. So if you're doing, say, Monday, skip Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, skip Thursday, Friday, so you have a bit of a day break in between each workout. And it's not just for the recovery, it's also to actually get the full effect from your workouts. Because if you're working out under fatigue, stressed, all that stuff, you're not going to get the best bang for your buck out of the actual exercise. And nothing's going to happen. You're not going to change your body shape. You're not going to get better. It's just going to be, you're going to be working and overtired and overstressed and putting a lot of stress on your body. So number 1 reason is recovery time. Reason 2 is you don't account for joint health. What I mean by that is when the programs are written, and they're written for, say, 25-year-olds, it's lots of heavy barbell squats, behind the neck presses, a lot of compound lifts, which I'm not saying is a bad thing, but if you're constantly doing that when you're 40, 50, and 60, that's a lot of strain on your joints and especially on your heavy joints, so your back, your neck. A lot of issues can happen when you're over 40. So it's just by swapping for joint-friendly exercises. You can still do squats, but I would just say change it into a Bulgarian split squat, for example, rather than a barbell squat, just to loosen the load on your spine and the traps in your neck, so just so you don't get all that stiffness around your neck when you're holding the barbell like that. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying if you do that for a long period of time, especially following a workout program that's designed for a 20-year-old, not a 45-year-old, chances are you're going to be putting a lot of stress on your body and you're not going to be building strength in the right way, especially as you age. Reason number 3 is you skip mobility every time. So what I mean by that is if you're 40, 50, 60, and 70 and you go into the gym and you're not warmed up, you just go straight into barbell squats, deadlifts, or jumping on the treadmill, whatever, you're pretty much not warming up your body properly. So if you go into those workouts really cold, chances are you're going to be doing damage for your body, especially for the joints, because as we get older, our joints sort of get a little bit more brittle and more prone to exercise injury, especially in the gyms. And if you're not taught properly from a very young age, and if you're doing the same thing you're doing from when you're 20, 25, and you're 45, 50, chances are that's not going to be good for your body. So you want to introduce some mobility exercises to start with. So if you're doing some stretching, maybe some yoga poses, maybe some doing light dumbbell work just to activate the body, not so much, walking to the gym, put your bag down and going straight into the barbell. That's not a good thing to do, especially if you're getting older, if your hips hurt, or if your shoulders hurt, or if you're getting a bit of neck pain. Once you hit those ages, 40, 50, and 60s, that's when generally, all my clients say is when things start to go pear-shaped, is because, you're already having a lot of stress in your mind and your body and your life. You don't want to skip mobility. So you want to be doing a lot of proper stretches, not just the static stretches, which a lot of people do, these funny ones that, they warm up doing all these stupid exercises. They're not going to work. I mean, targeted mobility exercises are perfect to introduce for you as well as you're doing it. Reason number 4 is people push intensity over consistency. Now, this is the biggest thing that I talk with my clients about on a day-to-day basis. When you're 40, 50, 60, and even 70, a lot of people train and they think going hard and at a high intensity pace is good for you. Now, when you're 20, 25, sure, it's great. You can bounce back, do 7 days a week, 45-minute high intensity classes. Absolutely. You can do that 7 days a week and be fine. But when you're 40, 50s and 60s, that intensity at a long period of time, you're going to burn out and you're going to create more injuries for yourself, and it's not going to be good. You can't train, you can't do a 10 out of 10 effort 6 days a week. It's just impossible. No way. Not with the stresses that we have going on, especially in the world today. It's not going to happen. So what I tend to talk with my clients about is consistency over intensity. So what do I mean by that is you can still have the intensity, but I like to sort of say to train, if you're gauging out of 10, have the workout be at a 7 intensity, not a 10 out of intensity, because you're not going to be able to recover in time for the next session. So always make it about a 7 out of 10. If it's a 6 or 5, it's too light. If it's an 8 or 9, you're probably going a bit too hard for yourself, and you don't want to go too hard for too long. It's good to go hard, but not for long periods of time, because you're not going to be able to recover in time because you are getting a little bit older. So if you're 40, 50s, 60s, and 70s, please try and maintain a consistency over the intensity. Last but not least, reason 5, you don't build your workouts or your routines around your life. Now, this is the big thing is, so a 6-day workout split, it sounds great on paper, it looks great, 6 days working out, perfect, fantastic, but you don't accommodate it in your life. You have a job, you're probably married, you probably have kids, or if you're a little bit older, you've probably got grandkids, if you're 60s and 70s. So you've got a life already, and you need to sort of incorporate training into your life. You're not going to be able to maintain a 6-day workout split when you're 50, 60, and 70. It's just impossible. Some do, absolutely. Some of my clients do it, but it's there at the rare occasion. It's not sort of the norm. So you want to design around your schedule. This is what I do with my clients now, current clients, is you get a 7-day workout calendar and you just type in whatever they have in their life scheduled. Monday is swimming with the kids, Tuesday workout, Wednesday is gymnastics with the kids, Thursday they have a date night with their wife, Friday is another workout. So you want to schedule it into your life, because the reason why I do that is because it maintains consistency, like I said before, so they know every week looks the same, sounds the same, so they can actually go to the gym, achieve their goals, and not just randomly go on a Monday, and then the next week you go on a Friday, and the next week you go on a Wednesday, and then you realize you've only done 3 sessions in a month. So you want to create the ideal schedule, base it around your life into your calendar, not the calendar that you just get from Google. Now, when I was talking about the reason why people don't account for joint health, this is the reason why. So when I said swap the heavy compound movements, barbell squats, into a dumbbell exercise, this is what I mean. This is the reason why, it was one of the first reasons why I was talking about, is for joint health. Not many over 40 account for joint health. So they go straight into the barbells and overload their body. This is just the goblet squat. So goblet squat, you cup it, feet wide, and then all I'm going to get you to do is hold it in front of you. You're going to try and focus on, just pretend a chair is behind you and you're sitting down on that chair. Now, having your feet a little bit wider than normal, you can get your hips a little bit further down, and it opens up the hips, stretches out the hips, loosens up the load of your spine, which is what the barbell doesn't do, and also helps, really gives you that joint health, especially with your knees and your ankles. When you're doing heavy barbell stuff, your knees and ankles really take the brunt of it. So when you do dumbbells as an alternative, helps you create that sort of range of motion, friction, and gets you in having better joint health. Number 2 exercise, Romanian deadlifts. I will show you with a dumbbell rather than a barbell. So, like I said, I was talking about with the recovery time. So one of the reasons I was talking about is recovery. So when you're doing heavy barbell, heavy compound lifts, you're not going to recover if you're doing 5, 6, 7 days a week. So it's heavy load of the body. Once you're over 40, 50s and 60s, your body's not going to adapt for that much heavy load. So the recovery cops it a lot. So if you're training again like you're 25, it's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to recover in time for the next session. So I like to do the deadlifts with dumbbells. I love doing it with barbell. Yes, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying in terms of aspect of recovery, this is why it's a good alternative to do so you can recover in between sessions. Okay, so feet wide, dumbbells by your side. Again, just like the deadlift, what it is. Bum out, body falling over, shoulders back. Once the barbells get to mid-shin, come back up, hips forward, squeeze your bum cheeks. Go out. Once the dumbbells get to mid-shin, come back up, down. You want to sit your bum kind of down. You don't want to sit all the way because that's a squat, but you want to stick your bum out as much as you can. Keep your head up and press forward. Just like so. Next exercise is a dumbbell incline press. Now, I like to do a lot of incline work. It just, again, loosens up the load of the joints. If you're constantly doing bench press, which shoulders take a lot of the brunt of a bench press, not a lot of people know that, especially if you're doing it wrong or if you're doing it over 20, 30 years of training. If you're always doing bench press on a flat bench and you're never sort of adapting to incline or decline, it's a lot of load on the shoulders, which aren't going to be happy as you age. So I like to do a dumbbell incline press just to give your body a bit of a variation, to give you that different strength, but also different adaptation as you're training. So what does that look like? Grab some dumbbells, lean back on an incline bench, push your hips forward, squeeze your bum cheeks. You want to push your back against the bench so your chest sits higher, just the same thing as a bench press, and lift up like so. Squeeze your chest as hard as you can as you're bringing the weights together, so your chest engages and your pecs are really on fire. Go as far forward as you can, go as far down as you can. You want to pretend like you're drawing a square with your hands, so it maintains full intention through your chest muscles, engaging. Everything's engaging. Glutes, feet firmly on the floor, back on the bench, core on, squeeze as hard as you can, just like so. Next exercise that I love to do is a seated cable row. Now, a lot of people when they hit 40, 50s, 60s, they thrash the lat pull downs, which is a good exercise. I love doing the lat pull downs. But if you're always doing lat pull downs for years and years and years, you're going to create imbalances elsewhere. So you want to do the exercises, similar exercises that mimic the same movement. So a lat pull down you can do, seated row is I like it better because it engages more of the core and engages more of the lats, which is what you're trying to engage. Whereas the lat pull down, a lot of people use their bicep, tend to push it down because they're trying to push heavier, which is a massive no-no. So, cable row. Sit up tall, chest out, core on, stomach on, feet firmly on the ground, pull back. Really squeeze your lats as hard as you can, engage, come back, and squeeze as hard as you can. Again, funny way to explain it, let me know what you guys do in the comments, but the funny way that I like to do is pretend that there's a lemon in your armpit. You want to squeeze the lemon as hard as you can and get all the juice out. Every client loves that when I say that. Pull it through, engage, then change hands. Sit again, up tall, core on, squeeze as hard as you can, pull back. Again, this one I like to do also, it helps with the posture. So when you're doing lat pull downs, people are leaning over too much. This, you're just sitting up tall, focusing on straight posture, because as we all know, as we get older, our posture tends to be a little bit on the crap side. Squeeze as hard as you can, pull back, and relax. Okay, the last but not least. Now, the last reason I was talking about was not building building your workout into your schedule, into your life, when I said about drawing that 7-day program. This is crucial. So I love farmer's carry. Farmer's carry is one of my favorite exercises. But again, I just want to reiterate, you want to fit exercise into your schedule. And I'm not talking about being quick workouts or quick exercise, just you want to get most bang for your buck as you get older. You don't want to be sitting in the gym for 2 hours trying to decide what exercise next to do. So this last one I love is a farmer's carry. So farmer's carry, grip strength. The stronger your grip you have, the better you'll be as you age. So grab some really heavy dumbbells, and I like to walk, let's say 30 meters forward, 30, or if you're talking, American yards, we'll go 40 yards and then 40 yards back. So you're going to walk straight, Posture up tall, as high as you can, chest out. Once you get to the end, you're going to turn around and then walk back. So once you get to that 40 meters, 40-yard mark, you're going to turn around and walk. So I'm just walking up and back now just to show you how it looks like, but that's what I want you to do. So when you're walking with the grip, you're trying to hold the weight as hard as you can. You want to grip as hard as you can. Chest up, shoulders back, neck, head up, straight posture, turn, and then walk. Perfect for grip strength, perfect for longevity, perfect to increase your lifespan. One of the best exercises you can do. Those were my 5 exercises, but today I just really want to emphasize why most workout programs fail after 40. Let me know how your program is going. If you love that video, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and share the love.